Hello, my name is Laughter of Mitri, man. This is my 28th ever bold and beautiful review for the episode of there today, Thursday, June 8th, 2023. 2023, the 935th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. And well, getting into this episode, this episode, it's like they try to break the fourth wall in this episode by making a nod to the audience and what a lot of the audience have been saying, but then immediately kept doing these same exact things. So let's just get into it. So first off, we start off with Taylor interrupting a meeting between Thomas, Widge, and Carter. And apparently they're still talking about going to Rome, Italy, because apparently this is the most chaotic. Apparently this trip has to be very planned out. I mean, good lord. Good lord. What has Carter not been planning the trip out? Has it taken him this long to plan this trip out? Like, why does it take this long? Shouldn't this already have been done? I mean, I'm going on vacation. And everything's already planned out and ready to go. And I'm not going until August. I'm not leaving until late July to go on my annual family vacation, and everything's already planned. We're doing nothing else. My mom's already booked everything. Everything's already planned and booked and ready to go. We ain't doing nothing. Apparently, Carter is still somehow trying to get all the final preparation. What final preparation? Not everything not made. But anyways, Taylor shows up, and why is Taylor here? You don't work here, Taylor. Because clearly showed by your fashion sense, you have no idea what fashion is. Well, here comes Taylor, just randomly shows up for absolutely no particular reason other than to be annoying, stupid, and apparently act more and more like Brooke. And also, she still has that stupid, dumb Shrek Float voice. Oh yeah, apparently it was Shrek Float. Why would you be on here with that? Why? There's no point. There was no point to her being in this episode. Like, no point whatsoever. Like, why couldn't it have been just Widge tell Thomas what happened? But anyways, that happened. So then we cut to Hope and Liam talking in that horrible, disgusting cabin. I'm finally happy that this cabin has finally been mentioned in an episode because, well, let's just say I got a few things to say about this cabin. This is I'm gonna rant about something portrait of my YouTube channel, of my daily YouTube videos. Oh well, not daily, Moe, somewhat daily YouTube videos. So this cabin. One, I don't know why Brooke thought that her house, her property needed a cabin. Like I know this is a fictional soap opera, but did Brooke buy this house from somebody and it all came like this? Did she build it? Was this how this house was designed? Because who thinks to themselves, okay, I have a house. You know what my house? You know what I need? Because I'm pretty sure Brooke's house has a guest house. Because I'm sure there is. But who thinks to themselves, you know what my giant property needs? A cabin. Also, that cabin is very tiny, and I am sorry, but I got claustrophobia. Yeah, I'm claustrophobic, so this cabin is also dark and it's in the woods. It's dark and in the woods, and apparently it takes like 45 minutes to get there. So mention that on the fact that I do got claustrophobia. This is not this cabin. Every time it's on, I'm just terrified. I'm terrified because I got claustrophobia really bad. Like it's bad to the point that thankfully I've been able to walk on it over the years, and elevators are not as scary anymore. Maybe because I try to avoid elevators as much as humanly possible. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of elevators. I try to avoid elevators as much as humanly possible. So yeah, this cabin is not only just to look at it horrible, but it's also horrible in the sense that it's something I am legitimately afraid of, and my fear does come out on the show, too, because this cabin is way too tiny because it's got a lot of fire hazard into it. Like if this cabin caught on fire, you don't have much time to run. It ain't grab a bunch of stuff and run. This is a get up and get out and run, and that's what the fear is. That's kind of what my feel of it is. That's what my feel is. It's the feel of if I get stuck somewhere, if I get stuck in a small place like that, how am I going to get out if something bad happens? If there's a fire, you know. That's hard. That's always a part that's hard. That's always a part that's terrifying. So Hope and Liam are talking, and I don't know what this whole conversation was about, but it started with her talking in Italian. And well, her Italian is not that good. I mean, I have no idea what she was saying, but whatever she was saying is not exactly what I don't think she was supposed to be saying, because I've learned some Italian. I don't have no idea what she was. The only thing I know how to say in Italian is, well, I actually can't say it. I actually can't say it. I actually can't say the one word I know in Italian on here, because this video will be taken down immediately, because it's not a very good word. So she said something about hope for the future, and then I don't know what else. So then, I don't know. Liam's proud of her, I guess. I don't know. So they hug, and then she goes, "What's wrong?" Hope asks him, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "I don't know. Let's not talk about it." Like, Hope's the one that brought it up. Like, Liam didn't bring it up. He didn't want to talk about it. Hope's the one that brought it up. It's stuff like that really annoys me with Hope's character. It's the fact that Brad Bell has chosen to write her as a complete and utter idiot. Like, does she not understand anything about basic human economics and ideas? Like, in Hope's mind, she wanted to talk to Liam about this, but then as soon as they start talking about it, she gets annoyed with him. Why did you bring it up then? So then we cut back to three men having a conversation about where they walk, and some woman being there for absolutely no particular reason other than just to remind us that she's a horrible person. Now she's apparently Brooke Logan. So Carter's like, this trip is going to be very fun, and then Carter immediately gets out, which I could tell is something that the actor must have done, because the actor writes on it shows, so something tell me Carter must have wrote his character to me. We get out of this stuff. He's like, get Carter out of here. Carter leaves. That explains a lot about Carter, why he's not written as a complete and utter idiot, because he writes for himself. That explains a lot. So Carter leaves, and Thomas is like, man, Carter is doing a really good job with all of this. But for some reason, it doesn't come off as him meaning it genuinely. It always comes off as if he's saying this, but he doesn't actually believe it. Like how he talked to Zende. Like how he tells Zende, oh yeah, you're doing a great job. But he comes off as sort of passive aggressive when he says it. Sort of kind of annoying. He comes off as a joke when he says it. And even here now, even though I don't dislike the guy anymore, it still comes off as that. I don't really know I don't know if these people are told how to make these sound, but they cannot make anything wrong. So Carter leaves. He gets out of Dodge because he's like, it doesn't affect me. I don't care. So then Widge and Taylor are having a conversation that I hope I never at any point ever have to have with my mom and dad. Because if so, I clearly lost it. I clearly lost it. But they're talking to him and they're saying, well, we heard that apparently Hope now has feelings for you. But which makes it sound way more horrible than it is. Which first off, you are the last person on planet Earth to ever judge anybody for having feelings for another man or woman while married. You are the last person on God's green earth, soap opera or otherwise, to tell anybody that. And Taylor, I don't know what you're trying to do here. Are you trying to be Thomas's mom? Because you do a horrible job at that. I mean, both of these people are terrible parents. Look how the children turned out. Once Steffi slept with her father-in-law in 2017, and Thomas lied about a baby being dead and murdered Emma Barber. Great job, Widge and Taylor. Great job. And your other kid died. So, you've had 3 children, and 2 of them have done horrible things, and 1 of them's dead. Great parenting. So then we cut back to Liam and Hope, and they're having an argument. Or something, confrontation, I don't know. Oh no, that if I ever get married, my wife is immediately gonna know 3 things about me. 1, I don't care what happens at your job. Two, I don't care who you walk with. And three, I will tell you something. You have two options. You can either agree with me, or you can say I don't agree with you, and that's fine. I'll be fine with that. Absolutely fine with me. Fine with me. But then if I make a decision, you can't tell me what to do about it. Like, that's what this comes off as. Okay, so here's what happens. Hope is like, I feel like we talk about this again. I don't know if that's Brad Bell trying to break the fourth wall or something. That's what that's. Is that Brad Bell trying to give a cute little nod to the audience of breaking the fourth wall? It's like, we're tired of it too. Then change it. Then stop doing it. Here's an idea, Brad Bell. If you're so tired of writing it, stop writing it and give Thomas a new love interest and just have these feelings that Hope has for Thomas Molasicary just go away. This is a soap opera. All you gotta do is just wipe them away. It's not that difficult. These aren't real people. You can just wipe these feelings away. It's not that difficult. That's what you do every year anyways. You make a story for 1 year. That's what Brad Pitt does. He make a story. He finishes the story. And then he resets everything for the new year. It just happened since 2018. That's his new formula of writing his television program. That's why this program is so repetitive. Because this has basically just been one long-ended story since 2019. With 2018 being part of it, but kind of being its own solo story, and we've had the exact same storyline with Hope, Liam, and Thomas for 4.5 years. I graduated high school in between this storyline. I went from a 17-year-old kid to a 21-year-old man. I drank alcohol before this. I've had beer. I have had a beer. And drank some other stuff. I have had beer and alcohol on my 21st birthday to celebrate I turned 21. And this storyline's still going on. So I don't know if that was a cheat nod to breaking the fourth wall or something, but that's what it came off as. And then of course Hope goes into a long-winded 45-minute soliloquy about how Thomas has changed. Hey Hope, here's the problem. It's not the fact that Liam doesn't trust you, which I think he does trust you. Honestly, I don't know how you could trust you at this point after what you did in 2019. I mean, I'm sorry, but that was horrible. I don't care what anybody says about it. I don't care if anybody says, well, it's how she grieved with the pain. No, I don't think that's how anybody has ever grieved with losing a child before. In real life or in soap operas. Because there's other examples of people losing children in soap opera, and none of them has ever done that. It's never led to a woman being murdered because someone kid died. That's what the Beth being dead led to. It led to the death of Emma, who is somehow, even though she's never been on a show for 4.5 years, is still more relevant to The Bold and the Beautiful than Zoe is. Zoe was when she was on. And Paris. Zoe and Paris together, those idiot sisters. She's still more relevant. Paris is not relevant to this program at all. She hasn't been on, thankfully, because she does absolutely nothing on the show. Neither has Zende, but does anybody miss him? No. It's like when you watch this program, it's like you watch the same exact show 5 times a week. With some new stuff like once every 6 months. But it's not new enough to be anything interesting. So let's go back to Thomas, Widge, and Taylor having a weird conversation that you probably shouldn't be having with your son. So they tell Thomas that apparently now they trust him, but they don't trust Hope. Okay. I mean, technically this makes sense considering Hope did cheat on Liam with Wyatt, but no one seems to ever bring that up. Also, you really can't fault Wyatt for that. Honestly, I would like to bring this up. You really can't get mad at Wyatt for that. Because honestly, that whole situation really did come off as Wyatt just bored and needed something to do. And like, I have this new brother, I might as well try to beat him at something. That's really all that came off as, honestly. Because I've had friends who are brothers, and it's basically one of those sibling rivalry things that I have seen some of my friends that our brothers have done. So that's all that was. So that doesn't really even matter. And plus, Hope and Wyatt kid died and son died and Hope went away to Italy for 4 years. So then they tell Thomas that Hope now has feelings for him, and Thomas looks, oh man, please God, no. You have never seen a man more disappointed in his life to find out that a somewhat attractive woman has feelings for him. You have never seen a man more disappointed. I mean, I would be too. I'd be, oh man, why me? Really, God, what did I do? Well, yeah, Thomas, you did do a lot of horrible things. This is the ultimate karma, honestly. So Thomas like, no, we're good. Nothing's gonna happen. I don't think Thomas wants anything to happen. Because honestly, I think he's realized at this point that Hope has made him a terrible person. And that's my whole thing. Hope makes Thomas a horrible human being. And Thomas makes Hope a terrible person, or an even more terrible person, and even more unlikable. Because Hope is just purely unlikable. There's nothing redeeming about her as a character. She has no redeeming qualities. The other Hope, the one from 2010 to 2014, at least had some redeeming qualities and always had a performance of she was at least likable. But Hope has not been likable since 2018. She just doesn't come off as a person who you want to root for or you want to see anything good happen to her. Or when anything bad happened to her, your immediate first thought is, yeah, I don't care. It's okay. No skin on my back. And not like it's somebody I really care about or like to watch. But why are Ridge and Taylor so gung-ho about this? Like, they said that they're afraid that this new thing is going to make Thomas turn back into a psychopath, basically, but they couldn't say that. I mean, one thing about when someone's changed, if you can't call them what they used to be, clearly you're still worried that they haven't changed. And plus, it doesn't go against the fact that Hope said horrible things about Thomas. And I'm sorry, but if some woman said that about me, especially even if I have done horrible things to her and I'm showing her that I'm trying to be a better person, and she said those things about me, we're done. Over, finito, finata, patata, but burrito, whatever you want to call it. We're done. We're done. We will never be together. We will never speak again. We may never even be friends again. Because you ain't going to say nothing horrible about me and get away with it. If it's true, it's true. I will admit to it. But you ain't going to say nothing like that behind my back. I don't care who you talk to. If you got something to say to me, come say it to my face. Come say it to my face. I'm sorry. No, you ain't going to say nothing bad about me. No. And that shows, that is Hope's character. A two-faced B-word, because I don't know if I can say that on the internet. I don't know if I can say this here on YouTube, and I don't feel like this video getting taken down for cussing. So I'm just gonna say, the B-word. Everybody knows what that means. That's Hope's entire character, a two-faced. She says one thing to one person, and then does the exact opposite, but then tries to defend herself. She likes to play the victim. She likes to victimize herself. And speaking of that, let's get back to the other part of this program. So then we cut back to Hope and Liam, and Liam is like, I think Thomas doesn't need to go with you on this trip. And technically he's not wrong. Like, Thomas just make the clothes, but in the sense of intellectual property, this company belongs to Hope. And this company belongs to Hope. I know it's technically part of Forrestal Creation, but that doesn't mean that it's all we has to be, or that doesn't mean it's a company that was founded. But you ever heard of Andrew? You can split companies off. You can make your own You can make your own thing. I don't know. Also, none of this comes off as genuine from Hope. It just comes off as something that she's saying. Because the storyline is that her and Thomas might sleep together in Rome, Italy. That's the storyline here. This is a storyline. This is nothing more than that. But some people seem to want to write too much into this, which I don't understand. I don't know how anybody can think that this is nothing more than two people who might sleep together, and then Hope is going to cry about it for 2.5 months, and then her and Liam are going to get back together. You know why I say that? Because I've seen this all before. This is deja vu, just with some new elements. I've seen this all before. So they're talking about that, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think this was an ultimatum. I think he was just genuinely asking her a question, and she said no, and I'm like, okay. See, the only way you can manipulate Hope is you have to lie to her first, and then you can easily manipulate her. She's one of those people who you have to make up a lie to, and then you can manipulate her. Because she doesn't understand the truth. Because she refuses to acknowledge all the horrible things Thomas has done to her. But then again, she refuses to acknowledge all the horrible things she's done to Liam, Wyatt, Douglas, Thomas, and Liam, and Wyatt, and her son who died 9 years ago. She just can't take accountability for all the horrible stuff she's done. That's just her entire character. She can't take accountability for herself. So then we cut back to Thomas, because I skipped this part for reason. After that, then Hope leaves, and then we cut back to Thomas, and he's trying to assure his parents nothing bad's gonna happen. I think he honestly believes that, but here's the part that I think that it's like I saw Albert review today. I saw his review, and I think he was saying something about how Kyrie said something about. But I think it was Kyrie, because I do remember seeing it in one of the live streams. And I think it was Kyrie that said it, but honestly, I think it was Kyrie who said it. But I absolutely agree with it. Like if Brad Bell's not gonna give Thomas a redemption arc and make him a better person, just make him a full-out villain. Just cut all any chance of him being a better person. Stop acting like he's gonna be a better person, and just make the dude a full, legitimate, full-out villain. Because he's already basically the villain of this Hope and Liam love story. Basically, that's what he's been for the past 4 years. Just make him a full villain who hates everybody. Because this whole redemption arc is never going to happen with Brad Bell. Clearly, Brad Bell has shown that he doesn't want to do this. What Brad Bell wants to do is have Hope and Thomas sleep together in Rome, Italy, possibly. So that then, he can then make it so that Hope and Liam didn't have to find their way back to each other. That's literally what this storyline is. You can literally see if you put all the storylines together that has ever happened in the 13 years Hope and Liam have been together. You can always do that. You can always pinpoint moments where they break up and then immediately get back together as them having to find their way back to each other or some bullshit like that. And now it's just that it involves Thomas and not Steffi. So then apparently Liam's walking, but now all he's doing is thinking about what Thomas did, and so now this dude can't even focus on his job. That's never good. That's never good. None of this is healthy for any of these people. Except for maybe Hope, because she has no redeeming quality whatsoever, and she's always going to be a terrible person. There's no chance in the world that anybody can legitimately think to themselves, Hope Logan is a good person or a good character. It is impossible. But everybody else could be good character, but poor Liam now this is the only thing he's thinking. Now this is all he's thinking about. Poor Thomas now is thinking about what Hope did to him. Now basically Thomas is being emotionally manipulated by Hope. Basically she's being abused. Basically Hope is abusing Thomas now. This could be considered sexual harassment in 95 different countries. So then we get to the end of this episode, and it is hilarious to me that some people don't see what's going on here. Like, so Hope comes in, and Thomas is telling her about that. She's telling Thomas how she defended him. I don't know why that was such a big deal. I've defended people who I've never slept with. I've defended tons of people who I'm not way to, and tons of women who I'm not way to. I've never slept with any of them. Granted, I was a child most of that time, but still. I've seen people defend people, and they've never slept together either. So I don't know why this is such a big deal. And apparently some people I think some people want Hope to commit adultery again. And then her and Thomas could get it together. That's never going to work, and Brad Bell will never do that. Plus, it would never work. How would that work as a storyline? What would be the storyline that would make sense? Nothing. That can never make sense. Never. Something about, I don't know. Also, people gotta stop painting Liam as the villain. Because if you go back and watch the program, he's basically the guy. He's basically the only true victim in any of this. Well, except for Tom. But no, the only victims in any of these stories have been Liam, Thomas, Douglas, Xander, and Emma. Wyatt, Hope and Wyatt's son. Everybody else has basically caused all of these people pain. And apparently tomorrow's is going to be something about the future, which I don't know. Is that going to be like a fantasy she Hope's going to have or something? Or is it just going to be another bullshit montage of nothing that matters? Because none of this shit matters, quite frankly. Nothing I've talked about matters. The only thing that matters is whatever Brad Bell's mind is, and Brad Bell already has his clear end game here. Hope and Thomas might stick together in Rome, Italy. Doesn't matter. Hope cries about it, thinks she's a horrible person. Liam finds out. They all argue about it, and then eventually they get back together. This has all happened before. Just add in new details. 2019. Oh, I'm sorry. No, wait. 2011, 2012, 2013. 2014, 2014 technically for like 6 weeks, and then it ended, and then something else happened. It was very confusing. That year was very interesting. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, and finally 2023. This has been 13 years of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen, and it hasn't changed yet. Nothing's gonna change now. In like 6 months from now, Hope and Liam are gonna be back together, and everyone's gonna go, well, what happened? That was different. Now these people are back together. And apparently some people actually like these people together. I ain't one of them. I've just given up any hope that Liam and Stephanie will ever get back together at this point. I gave up that dream 4.5 years. I gave up that dream 4.5 years ago. Yeah, I gave up that dream. I've just accepted that Hope and Liam will always somehow be together because that's what Brad Bell wants. And there's nothing we can do about it. So that's all that happened on this episode. Tomorrow's episode should be very interesting because apparently it might be very interesting. And I think they're going to Rome, Italy next week. So that should be fun. Or not, depending on whether you care or not. That should be fun. Rome, Italy should be fun. Ironically, find it funny that they've been talking about Rome, Italy like this romantic, beautiful, romantic place. Did none of you remember that in the 1940s during World War II, Rome, Italy was controlled by Mussolini, and he was even worse than Hitler? Just that Hitler's crimes have been more documented, but if you look for the history book, Mussolini during World War II, the leader of Italy, was much worse than Hitler. Italy is not a country known for love and peace and wonderful. It's a country known for being even worse than the Holocaust. Trust me, I know. I took a World War II class in 10th grade. Trust me. I'm very good with history. I never failed. In my entire time in school, I only ever made a B in social studies, which is what history was called, social studies, 2 times. Once was the first time I took social studies, and the next time was not even my fault. My teacher just didn't believe me when I said something was correct. She gave me she lowered my grade anyway, even though I was technically correct. But she was like, well, you wasn't fully correct, but so you get a fail. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, but I don't need to get into that teacher who screwed me over with my grade. But yeah, so I think so that's what Italy has been known for. Also, the city of love is Paris, France. There's another thing that Taylor a couple episodes back called Rome, Italy, the City of Love or something, or I saw that on the internet at some point. No, the City of Love is Paris, France. Go watch that Phineas and Ferb episode. 100 Days of the Summer, they take a trip around the world and to make their last day to make the longest day of summer last even longer, and they go to the City of Love. There's a song in there called the City of Love, and that's Paris, France. Well, Phineas and Ferb was awesome. Much better than The Bold and the Beautiful, and the people writing that show knew how to write characters. And that show was written by 2 dudes. Is that how Brad Bell gets away with his writing? Because this show had some people who write on it that are women. Is that how he gets away with doing some of the more stupid, idiotic stuff? There's women on it. There's women writing. So it's like, well, a woman wrote this with me, so clearly she's not involved in the process. What is wrong with Brad Bell, quite frankly? Why does he think this is good television? How did One Life to Live and All My Children get canceled, but yet CBS kept this program? How? I would love to know. I loved One Life to Live. Ironically, I only started watching The Bold and the Beautiful because One Life to Live was ending, and I could no longer watch it on YouTube. If One Life to Live would have continued, I never would have watched The Bold and the Beautiful. It's just that One Life to Live officially was told it was going to be canceled at the end of 2012. So I'm like, well, I guess I gotta find another soap opera to watch when I get home from school. And there was The Bold and the Beautiful. And now I've been watching it for 12 years, so I'm kind of stuck watching it now. But yeah, this episode was boring but frustrating. It was like one of those things where it frustrates you and you're annoyed by it, but it's also boring, and you know nothing that happens in this episode will matter. So I got nothing else to say. Tune in for tomorrow's episode of my review, which is going to be a little bit different aesthetically, but I'll let you guys know more about that tomorrow. So everybody have a wonderful day.